When they study abroad, students prove to themselves that all the mechanisms, the grammar, the vocabulary that they learn in the classroom can be applied in real-life situations. There is a special moment when students use Spanish in a real setting during the program, and they actually discover that they are able to use their own resources and the language tools to maintain a conversation with local people and share information. These are the moments when learning a language makes total sense for them, and the daily contact with local people, ordering in a restaurant, asking for directions, or meeting new friends will help them eventually to gain the independence and the confidence to learn the language, but also to be more knowledgeable and understanding of different cultures.
The actual conversing with the people was a little bit unnerving, but towards the later end of the trip, I was starting to understand a ton more and present myself in such a way where they would know, like, she at least knows something.
I really wanted that extra kind of immersive experience of being surrounded by people where you're forced to learn and you're forced to sort of adapt to the culture. And I just had a great experience, not only because I was able to learn the language better, but just having that experience and that exposure to a different culture was really interesting to me as well.
I have a really big interest in art history, and I was actually able to take an art history class with one of the professors at the Spanish University, and so she was the one who took us on the tours when we went to the museums and stuff, so it was really good to be able to take that class and be able to go to the museums and see the things that I wanted to see.
Our host university is the Universidad Complutense. This university is located in the city of Madrid, and it has offered Spanish as a second language and cultural activities since 1928. During the program, our students are taking a course in the Complutense Center for Spanish, which is part of the Faculty of Philology in Complutense. And they also complete with me a seminar on the Spanish Civil War. This course introduces students with one of the most impactful events in the history of Spain, a conflict that reflects the ideological differences between the two sides that took part in the battle, the Republicans and the Nationalists.
We read a play in Spanish called La Casa de Bernarda Alba, and then we got to see the play performed by actual actors while we were in Madrid. So it really brought the culture, the literacy that we read alive, and I think that's what made it so impactful to me and kind of life-changing in a way.
With this seminar, students appreciate the different dimensions of the war and the implications of this conflict from an international perspective. The course combines readings of Federico García Lorca, Ernest Hemingway, George Orwell, Pablo Neruda, with visits to museums, monuments and sites related to the war. Among many other pieces of literature and arts, students have the opportunity of seeing the Guernica by Pablo Picasso, and the seminar brings a few guest speakers who talk about the long-term effects and the legacy of the war in Spanish society.
I didn't really think it was the most significant thing to be learning about Pablo Picasso. I'm not a big art person, but then all of a sudden listening to, in the classroom, Pablo Picasso's work, Guernica, and then all of a sudden being in Spain and being able to see it in the Reina Sofia Museum, I'm like, I never expected to have that experience, and kind of was like this closure of, like, from the beginning of learning about it to actually seeing it.
Just being there and learning about the influence of this war on history and as well as on the art scene, which I was already very interested in. I actually decided after the fact to write a whole research report on art in the Spanish Civil War.
In any career, being fluent in a foreign language is always a great advantage to improve employability. It makes students more competitive and attractive in the job market for any profession. We have students from different disciplines interested in this program.
It changed the course of my life, I think, because it suddenly became real for me, and I was able to get a bachelor's degree in Spanish and a bachelor's degree in both neuroscience and psychology. And now, because I've had this experience in Spain, because I've improved my Spanish, I'm now working on a PhD in clinical psychology, and in that I'm going to work with families that speak Spanish.
I very much believe that this study abroad trip to Spain completely changed my life. So it's just kind of a very eye-opening perspective being on practically the other side of the world and feeling changed as a person.